you know, if you have seen any of my stuff, uh, my objective is always to share how to lose fat in the simplest way possible and the most relaxed and peaceful way possible. Um, and overall, like to use that to bring peace into the rest of your life. Um, so that then you can enjoy life, which is the whole point of everything. Um, and obviously, one of the things that brings a lot of enjoyment is having a body that can engage with life in all different ways, right? So whether that's that it's physically capable, um, that it doesn't have health problems like diseases, uh, aches and pains, so that you can move around and do stuff, whether that's the looking good, naked, and in clothes, um, all those things, right? And so when most of us go about trying to lose fat, there's just so much drama involved, and that's part of the reason why most people just struggle. So I'm gonna go over again. I think it's always worth just repeating the basics over and over again, to not just for me to share it with you, but also to remind myself that yeah, this is actually very, very easy and very simple. And I think the reminders make all the difference. So first and foremost, you always remember that fat is not a defect. It is a feature. It is a very important feature, because the way that this system works is that if you happen to not have food for a long time, you would be able to store up as much food on your body so that when and if that time comes, you can still function. So that's a pretty amazing thing. And like we're all just in constant war with these things, and we should not be. We should first just recognize what it is, and uh, then we can start to move forward in a calm, relaxed way. Um, so understanding that, okay, fat is food for later. In today's world, we obviously have access to food all the time. Everything we do revolves around food, and food is cheap, and it is designed in a way that appeals to our uh, taste buds. They focus on texture, taste, color, everything, so that you want more of it, because the food is created by companies, and companies need to make a profit. So again, we're not going to demonize them. They're doing whatever it is they're doing. Would it be great that if companies made things not solely for profit? Yeah, that would be cool, but that's here we are. So like we can either navigate it calmly and masterfully, or we can just be upset about it. Because for you as the individual watching this, like the statistics, no statistic, no nothing has to be true for you. It might be true of the overall population, but uh, you are an individual. You get to make your own decisions. And if you observe the world is filled with people who are in phenomenal shape. So, and the world is full of people who have been in your exact circumstances and have found a way to still become incredibly fit and healthy. which I think is a really cool thing. Like I could never relate to white bodybuilders who were always jacked and this is what they're saying and blah blah blah, because that is not my experience, and vice versa. One of the things I noticed from coaching in my early 20s to now is there were things that older clients or older people would not be able to relate with when I was sharing them. And then similarly, as I have gotten older and worked with more people, I've now also understood, having gone through more experience in life, some of the things that those people go through. And so um, having the opportunity to look out on the internet and find somebody who is very similar to you in experience or whatever, or the circumstances that they're in, is extremely encouraging. It gives you evidence like, oh shit, like I can do this too. Um, and so that's a big part of this. Um, and now going back to like the physics part of it, right? The physics of fat loss. So if I know that the fat is there for the purpose of, in case I don't have food, my body will start using that. We know that's not a real threat for vast majority of people in today's. All right, so spam calls. Where were we? Now that you understand, okay, like fat is uh, food that's stored for later, and I want to get rid of it, then what would I do? Well, in order to use it up, I just have to do a combination of two things. One, I got to decrease the amount coming in, and two, I got to increase the amount that I use every day. So how do we do that? Well, the simplest things are start to get more steps, start to move more, be more active. Step count is the easiest way to track that. Number two, um, any type of workout will do. Uh, join a F45, join a CrossFit, join whatever. Do something that is fun in a group environment. It doesn't mean you need to like, you know, um, you don't have to like find the most optimal perfect thing, right? There's so many options out there nowadays. Barry's Boot Camp, all these other fitness classes, Pilates, blah blah blah. Find something you like, and then on the food side, it's about eating things that are enjoyable, convenient, and have lower calorie densities. That's all. All right. Lots of interruptions today. Another phone call. Eating things that are convenient, lower in calorie density. That is the main lens that we want to look at. Obviously, we have the 5 lenses of fat loss, which really makes stuff easier and easier. But all this stuff should be based around convenience, enjoyment, and then low calorie density. Like that's where the burrito diet came from, right? So when you eat real foods, you're getting all the vitamins, the minerals to make your body work better. And it just keeps it simple. Like I always encourage people, like you should track calories for at least a period of time, because then your knowledge will increase so much about food, and it will give you the ability to eat anything, anywhere, at any time, and never gain fat. Okay. Um, and you know what? We'll probably leave it at that for right now because I'm easily distracted, and I just got a bunch of phone calls. Need to go take care of a couple of things at the stores. So yeah. And as a side note, like for the workout part, like and I really recommend F45. I've gone in, I've done workouts there. I it's a very good setup. It's a very nice environment. I think if you have zero experience in working out, my first recommendation is to actually work with a good strength and conditioning coach in person so that you build the foundation and the base strength to feel more comfortable in a class setting like F45. Um, I think 3 to 6 months minimum with the trainer is very good. Or even like, yeah, I think 3 to 6 months if you really want to establish your understanding and confidence in lifting weights. Because then when you go into a F45, you're able to do everything, and you feel confident in your ability. So that's all for now. I'll leave one practical point on the food side, which is like, um, I would encourage people to, if you don't like your vegetables, juice them or buy juice. Um, and if uh, for fruit, I would recommend getting frozen berries, frozen pineapple, etc. And that's really good. There's a variety of ways to eat them. One of my favorite things right now is like I'll just grab, and it tastes so good. I'll just grab like a bunch of frozen berries, and then put honey all over it, um, and it's amazing, delicious. That's all.